All right, detectives, here is your mission. I'm going to present you with a piece of news, and you have to tell me what evidence there is that it's not a trustworthy news source in the chat. Now, all of these pieces of news are made up for this activity. I know that they're all fake, but I want to know what are the signs that this type of news may be untrustworthy if it was to show up in your social media feed. Let's jump into it. Number 1. Did you hear? Texting for 3 hours burns as many calories as walking for 30 minutes a day. That has to be true. Why shouldn't I believe it? Let me know in the chat. Memes can be a great way for sharing funny commentary on current news. They can even be a great way to share important headlines quickly. If you see enough memes on the same topic, it may indicate that there's a major piece of news to research. But memes should never be your main source of news. The first sign that this news may not be trustworthy is that there was no source at all. Without a source, anyone can write anything down. If they include a source, you can now see a full article and understand who said it, how they came to their conclusions, and what their biases are. So, including a source is the bare minimum. But even if they have a source, it doesn't mean that they are trustworthy. Assuming the source is valid, memes usually don't usually have much text. And it's hard to capture all the details and nuances of an article in just a few words. You aren't going to get the full story with a meme. So if you don't see a source or you see an interesting meme, it may indicate that there's news out there, you need to research more, but you shouldn't trust that as your main source of information. All right, now for number 2. Whoa, you won't believe how this teenager earns $500 a day. Let me know why this article isn't my solution to getting rich in the chat. Clickbait news is a really common form of fake news on social media. These companies make money from getting people to click on their articles. So they do whatever it takes to get us to do just that. Common signs of clickbait articles are incomplete headlines, which won't tell you the best part until you click it. They often have really over-the-top statements with words in all caps. They use images that feature people having big emotional outbursts and try to appeal to our emotions. The topics of these articles usually focus on quick solutions to problems we all feel self-conscious about. They'll tell us about our body image, health, and wealth. And these are some of the most common topics they cover. Clickbait articles often come from websites whose URLs look kind of strange or sound like websites we know, but at the end they add a .com.co instead of just .com, for example. They're trying to trick us into believing that they are legitimate. If you see an incomplete headline, words in all caps, headlines and images that are clearly just trying to get an emotional response out of you, or suspicious URLs, don't fall for their tricks. All right, time for number 3. Next up, doctors agree Molar Cola is the only soda that's healthy for your teeth. Find out why. Why shouldn't I trust this medical advice? Did you notice the sponsored icon below the ad? Or that the article led to molarcola.com, the same product that's being promoted? Promoted content aren't necessarily fake news, but we need to be aware of their biases. They're trying to sell you a product. They might be a really good product that solves a need you have, but before trusting their claims, look up other sources that aren't sponsored by them to corroborate their claims. Now, corroborate just means to confirm information by checking with separate and independent sources. Or just look up product reviews online. Now, for number 4. Oh no, my favorite basketball player has been shooting horribly over the past 5 games. Just look at this graph. Why shouldn't I be worried? Let me know in the chat. Any math lovers out there? Did you notice the scale of this graph? The y-axis is very zoomed in, and visually, it looks like a dramatic decrease. But the numbers only went down from 53.8 to 53.1. That's less than 1%. Here's the same graph with a normal scale. Not much of a change, huh? Misinterpreting statistics is a really common form of misinformation. Sometimes it's intentionally trying to confuse us, and other times, it's just the author misunderstood the stats themselves. Common ways to lie in stats is to give them strange scales, hide a bias in how the stats were collected, or provide an explanation for the stats when it's really not known. Sometimes they say stats in a way that confuses us. When you see alarming stats or outrageous claims backed by statistics, make sure the article shares a source, which talks about the quality of the data. It is really hard to interpret stats ourselves, I gotta be honest with you. So the best thing to do is just to find other articles on the same topic and see if they all interpret the stats the same way. Now for number 5. Oh my gosh, having pimples in a job interview makes you 50% less likely to get the job. Did you notice that website? Healthjuice.com. Now you might think, well, that ad wasn't selling me something directly, so it's not really an ad. But a health product has an incentive to make you self-conscious about your pimples. They may not be trying to sell you their product right now, but over time, they may want you to feel more and more self-conscious about your skin, so that in the long run, you buy their product as a solution. This is true of many articles and influencers you see online. Though they may not seem like they are selling you something, you need to think about their biases. Is that lifestyle influencer recommending a product that sponsors them? Is a brand or person making you feel bad about your body or appearance so that you depend on their product? Thinking about biases is important for any information we get online. But this is especially true for health news. There's a lot of health and supplement misinformation out there. Make sure you get medical information from legitimate medical sources and not from health and lifestyle gurus who are selling you their book, product, or trying to get you to follow them on social media where they can tell you secret health information that doctors don't know about.